Police have arrested a middle school teacher in Florida after she apparently allowed 6th graders to carry out pre-planned fights against each other during school hours. Angel Footman, a 23-year-old, apparently failed to intervene in any of the brawls and, far worse, laid out fighting ground rules for the students ahead of the clashes. So at one point, apparently told the students 30 seconds, no screaming, no yelling, no phones. The document cites the statements of 4 female 6th graders from the Griffin Middle School who took part in the fights and later spoke with a detective. She only told the kids to break it up after they fought for a short while. Well, she said it would be 30 seconds, I guess, so I guess it's quick. Footman also apparently asked 2 of the girls if they wanted to, quote, run it back and fight for one more round during one of her planning periods. 2 of the girls weren't even in her class. They were pulled out of other classes to participate in the fights. The girls said the fights were pre-planned and did not occur randomly. So I guess Angel Footman was doing the booking for the card as well, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. Look, we're talking about actual fights. Thankfully, they were brief, and I haven't yet seen any evidence that anyone got seriously hurt, but kids can hurt each other in these sorts of fights. It does happen. People fight at school. I used to fight at school. But it is not the role of a teacher to be setting these things up. So JR, I know you have a kid, potentially could be drafted into Kitty Fight Club. What do you think about this?
Well, I guess he wouldn't really be into it. The kid won't want to play football either just because there's too much hitting involved. So if he gets drafted, he'd probably be like, listen, it's not gonna happen. I'm not about that. But no, this whole thing with, I'd like to see the motivation behind the original, just general beefs. Usually when there's bullying or just clashes amongst friends, especially when it comes to this age, it's always like some kind of conflict mediation that comes involved. Hey, go talk to this person. Maybe there's like an extra responsible child where they have them come and you talk to your peers and try and smooth this whole thing out, which sometimes I think is unfair for the kid. But still, there's also the option of just letting them beat each other up, I guess. This is weird. And also, in pulling the other kid from another class, what are those teachers involved in? So if I'm teaching, my kids geometry, and then here comes Brian from Miss Smith's class and says, hey, we need Angel in the other room. Yeah, go ahead, Angel, have your fight night. How did this get organized to this degree where they're pulling students out of other classes and these other teachers are like, yeah, sure, that's just normal. They just went to have their 30-second fight for the week. This sounds like everybody's culpable here.
She pops her head and she's like, I need Timmy. Timmy's got a call from his mom, and then Timmy comes back in with a black eye or something. I don't know. I hope that the other teachers aren't involved. I haven't seen any allegations of that. I don't know if this is just a weird inclination or hobby, if this is designed to, the idea is to let them blow off steam or something. I don't know. I hope that they're not betting on them or anything, recording them to put on social media. But we do know that some were actually recorded. Videos of at least 3 fights were reviewed. They were filmed by students, which, look, obviously you don't want that because she was very specific to not film the fights. So what the hell, man? It was one of the 3 rules that you had, kiddos, and you couldn't follow it. I'm kidding. Obviously they wanted people to know about what was happening, because if you just went to an authority figure and said, she's having us fight each other, I think a lot of adults probably wouldn't listen. So you kind of have to come with evidence. So probably wise of them to do that.
Last point. Oh, sorry, go ahead, finish.
She's facing multiple charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So we'll see what happens. But what was your last point?
Yeah, small last point is so don't forget, after all these school shootings, there's people in positions of power that have suggested that we give teachers guns, arm all of them. So if your child is in a class with a teacher who makes decisions like this, that the people should fight each other, what decisions might they make with guns?
I mean, they hand out the guns. They say, "Here's your Glock. Okay, 3 rules. You take 10 paces towards the shoe nook, and then you turn and fire. 1 shot each, okay? And no screaming, everyone, please."
It would be a history class on Alexander Hamilton, actually.
This is such a bad idea. And by the way, I don't want to put any pressure on teachers, considering all that they were already going through before the new national campaign by the Republicans to get rid of every one of them. But considering how much scrutiny teachers are under, maybe avoid the fight clubs for now. Like maybe don't do anything crazy right now for teachers.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.